Imagine there's a threshold after which your wealth starts to skyrocket, transforming from a slow grind into an unstoppable force. Today, we're diving into that game-changing concept in personal finance. Why hitting that first $100,000 in net worth feels like an uphill battle, but once you cross it, your money starts multiplying like crazy. This idea has been echoed by investing legends like Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's longtime partner, who famously called the journey to $100,000 a real grind, but insisted it's worth doing whatever it takes, legally of course, to make it happen. He passed away recently with billions to his name, and his advice rings true because of some fundamental money principles we'll unpack. By the end, I'll share practical steps to accelerate your path there, plus some fresh insights to make it even more actionable. Let's jump in. First off, let's talk about why that initial $100,000 is such a milestone. It boils down to two big ideas: how capital grows at scale and the magic of compounding. Starting with scale, think of it this way. Money works harder when there's more of it. If you invest $1,000 and earn a solid 10% return over a year, you pocket $100. Nice, but not transformative. Now, bump that up to $10,000 at the same 10%. That's $1,000 in gains. Scale it to $100,000 and you're looking at $10,000 added without extra effort. The risk level and time invested are identical in each case, but the absolute rewards explode as your starting pot grows. This is the essence of it takes money to make money. Early on, without much capital, you're relying mostly on your own hustle to build it up. But once you have a chunk, it starts pulling its own weight. The second powerhouse is compounding. Often dubbed the eighth wonder of the world by folks like Albert Einstein, imagine your savings as a snowball at the top of a hill. You give it a push by investing, and as it rolls, it picks up more snow. That's your returns adding to the principal, which then generates even more returns. At first, with a tiny snowball, say under $100,000, the growth feels sluggish. But as it builds size, it accelerates dramatically. To see this in action, consider a classic thought experiment. Would you rather take $1 million cash today or a penny that doubles every day for 30 days? Most pick the million, but let's crunch it. Day 1, 1 cent. Day 2, 2 cents. By day 10, you're at about $5. Yawn. Day 20, around $5,000. But then it ramps up. Day 25 hits $167,000. Day 28 surpasses $1 million. And by day 30, you're at over $5 million. That's compounding's nonlinear punch. In wealth terms, grinding to $100,000 is like those slow early days. After that, the doublings or returns happen on a bigger base, speeding everything up.
Let's apply real numbers. Suppose you save $10,000 a year and invest in something like an S&P 500 index fund, which has historically averaged 7 to 10% annual returns after inflation. We'll use 7% to account for fees and taxes. Reaching $100,000 takes about 7.8 years, but the next $100,000? Just 5.1 years. From $200,000 to $300,000, 3.8 years. $300,000 to $400,000, 3 years. $400,000 to $500,000, 2.5 years. By the time you hit $1 million, the total time is around 23 years. But notice, the first $100,000 ate up over 25% of that timeline, while the last $900,000 took the remaining 75%. If you never add another dime after $100,000 and just let 7% compounding work for 33 years, you'd still end up a millionaire. Wild, right? And if inflation averages 3%, your real purchasing power grows too, but more on protecting against that later. Here's a key nuance often overlooked. Your first $100,000 isn't mostly from fancy returns. It's 70 to 85% raw savings and hustle. For instance, saving $15,000 yearly at 4.5% gets you there in 6 years, with savings making up 85% of the total. Even at 10% returns, savings are still 67%. So early on, focus shifts to earning more and spending smarter, not chasing hot stocks. This is where mindset matters. Before $100,000, every dollar is amplified because it's fuel for that future snowball. Impulse buys, like a $300 monthly car upgrade or frequent nights out, delay your launch pad. As one wise saying goes, $1 million is just 1 million singles stacked up. Track your outflows. Did you know the average person spends $3,000 plus yearly on dining out without realizing? Small leaks sink ships, but plugging them builds momentum. Generational hurdles make this tougher today. Studies show Gen Z has 86% less purchasing power than boomers at the same age, thanks to stagnant wages, higher living costs, and older workers hogging top jobs. But flip it, the internet levels the field. Boomers might not grasp TikTok shops or freelance gigs on Upwork, but you can. Side hustles like content creation or app development can boost income without a traditional ladder climb. Now, how to hit $100,000 faster? I've distilled strategies from proven sources into a streamlined plan. Think of it as the Accelerate framework. First, boost your income offense. Don't just cut costs, expand earnings. Negotiate raises, average bump 10 to 20%. Switch jobs every 2 to 3 years for 10 to 15% hikes, or build high-income skills like coding, digital marketing, or AI tools. Free resources on Coursera can get you started. Side hustles are gold. 50% of Americans have one, even high earners. Try passion-based ones, like gadget reviews on YouTube, where expenses, for example, a new phone, become tax-deductible write-offs if it's a legit business. This ties into optimizing taxes. More on that soon. Second, play strong defense on expenses. Budgeting isn't about deprivation, it's awareness. Use apps like Mint to categorize needs versus wants. Track last year's eating out total. Most underestimate by 50%. Cut discretionary fluff. Swap designer trends for thrift flips or downgrade subscriptions. But balance it. Enjoy life, just mindfully. Remember, short-term sacrifices yield long-term freedom. Third, weed out debt aggressively. Average U.S. consumer debt is $21,800, and high-interest types, credit cards at 20% plus, melt your snowball like sun on ice. List debts by interest rate. Tackle highest first with snowflake payments, extra bits from gigs or refunds. Avoid new debt. It's compounding working against you. Fourth, optimize efficiency. Shelter money from taxes via accounts like Roth IRAs, tax-free growth, traditional IRAs, upfront deductions, or 401ks, employer matches equals free cash. In high-tax spots, up to 37% federal, this keeps more compounding for you. Park cash in high-yield savings, 4 to 5% now via Ally or SoFi, instead of 0.01% checking accounts. And start early. Even $200 per month at 7% over 40 years hits $656,000, with 82% from compounding. Fifth, diversify streams and tap discipline. Beyond jobs, add rentals, online courses, or e-commerce. Discipline is key. It's the glue. Set auto investments to remove temptation. For extra leverage, consider real estate. Save for a 10% down payment on a $400,000 home. If values rise 10%, your equity jumps $40,000. Amplified growth via borrowing. Just mind PMI if under 20% down. One fresh tip. Hedge inflation with diversified assets. Mix stocks, growth, with bonds, stability, or even crypto. Risky, but potential. Real-world example. A teacher I know hit $100,000 by tutoring online, investing in index funds, and house hacking, renting rooms. 5 years later, $350,000. In closing, the grind to $100,000 tests your resolve, but crossing it unleashes exponential wealth. Trust the math, start small, and hustle smart. If this is helpful, take a second to like the video. It tells YouTube this is good info and helps get the video out to more people who need to see it. And subscribe for more clear, practical lessons from Uncle Mike. Thank you to everyone watching and supporting the channel. If you have any questions or thoughts, feel free to leave a comment below. I read them all. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.